Yo, you know what time it is? We back again. I got some new guests because I do this every single week. It's Luch to God. I got my new special guest with me. Now, before I let them introduce themselves, let me tell you how I met them. So, you guys know I've been on this journey, right, to trying to find the best brands to work with, right? So, I was working at the ShopRite brand, and I seen this couple setting up, and I'm looking at the board. I'm trying to figure out, because where I'm sitting at, I can't really see the board. So, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to be nosy. I'm like, all right. So, the lady working with me, she's like, all right, I'm just going to go stand there and go look at it. I was like, all right, go ahead. I'll take your cover. So, she looks, and she's like, and then Kelly comes over, and they start speaking. So, she's talking, and she's like, she's talking, like, she's hyping you up. She's like, yo, from where you came from, he used to be a lot heavier, and da-da-da, and now we do the thing. But I was hardly catching it, but I'm like, you know what? This is my first time doing this kind of gig. I didn't want to, like, get off topic, so I was like, let me bring them down to the bus, do what we do, because, we like to show love to local business owners. My guests, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, thank you so much. Derek, part of DK Movement, the other half.
I'm Kelly.
Perfect. You want to give me your social media, let them know where to find you?
Go ahead, honey.
Well, you can find us on Facebook on it's DK Movement Cares. That's our nonprofit, and then we have DK Movement Clothing Brand, which is the brand, and then the same thing on Instagram and Twitter and all that.
Nice.
Yeah, the stuff you see on this is our summer stuff.
Yeah, show the camera, yo. Let me tell you,
all design.
They're branded out. I can't even hold y'all from the bead to the clothes to everything. I love it.
But yeah, we get our names on it.
True.
A little bit of everything.
True. So let's talk about the origins. Where did it start? The day before you were doing something else. The next day it was DK. Moving forward, how did that happen?
So I'm gonna let Kelly start off.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the first time, not just playing. So we started it off because like 2 years ago with COVID, right? Everybody was sitting at home, and I always was trying to encourage Derek to tell his story. We've been together for 6 years, and when I met him and heard his story, I'm like, wow, this story would motivate a lot of people, and people need to know where you come from, and I think that you will be an inspiration. So it took me 4 years to actually convince him to do it.
Gee, 4 years.
Because I would try to record him and shoot him when he was working out and running, and finally I convinced him. So long story short, we're home, we're quarantined, so we said, you know what, how can we communicate with people? So we decided to start a YouTube channel, and that's DK Movement at that time. So the channel was just about sharing both of our stories and just giving advice to people who just needed a little bit of help, and let people know what you see right now. It's always going to be a work in progress, but you wouldn't think the backstory by seeing us now. You can't even believe where we come from, and we wanted to put all the cards on the table and not be, some people are ashamed of what happened in the past. We're not. We forgive ourselves, and we want people to know that no matter where you come from, it doesn't define you. So we started the YouTube channel, and that was probably like the end of 2020. And then in 21 is where the clothing brand came into play, because along with us sharing our message, we like to help people. So we like to go out in the community and help others. So we were doing that and doing it out of our pocket. So we said, hey, how can we fund this? My background is in fashion and entertainment. Who doesn't like a jogger set? So we just started the clothing brand, a way to help us give back to the community. Yes.
Okay. So Derek, would you say she was like the vision? She seen the vision and it put you on her?
Yeah, I'd say she definitely saw the vision. I was cut off to it. I didn't want to get in front of the camera. I'm a very humble guy, and I don't want people to think I'm something I'm not. Right? So I never want to, up myself too much. Right? I came literally from nothing. I grew up where, the hometown of Bristol back then, there was Union Street was very bad, a lot of gang banging. I was part of that. A lot of drug dealing. I separated from my brother and sister at the age of 8. They went to the foster homes. Right? Me, I was living with my mother, heavy on crack. Didn't meet my father until I was like 15 years old. Right? But he was able to get out of the gang. He had his own issues. God bless him. We kind of rekindled. I got to live with him.
How was that?
It was one of the best things that ever happened. Even though he had his own struggles.
And I'm sorry, how old are you when you moved in with him?
15.
That's crucial. I think that's an important time to move in with your father, because it's the deciding factor in who you become as a man. Like you kind of already who you are at 15, or whoever you're about to be is who you're about to be at 15. But a father, I feel like, can still make that twist to kind of put you in the right, if it's the correct father, right father figure can align a 15-year-old to kind of get back on path before you're out in the streets and back, to make your own decisions. So I think that's good that you went back at 15.
He struggled with his
Right.
alcohol and drug use, but the thing about him, he always held a job down, and he's one of those type of people that he can talk to anyone, encourage anyone, even though he was going through his struggle. So I had a lot of his personality look a lot like him, I didn't grow up with him for a while, right? And we'd have our struggles in the beginning. We'd be at each other's throat. We're both alpha males, so we get into a lot of arguments. But eventually, we came to the conclusion that we're so much alike that that's why we have these battles with each other. And 3 years ago, he passed away. God bless his soul. I was there to actually help him through that.
That's really good. That's really good because do you think if you hadn't moved in at 15, you would have still built the relationship that he was able to leave with?
No, definitely not.
Right.
It was a great decision, by me. Even though I was mad at the time, I really just wanted my father in my life.
That's a
And
fact.
I think the importance of that's something I fight for a lot. Actually, is father's rights.
Yep.
I was up at the state capitol this year working with some of the state senators trying to get a bill passed for equal rights for families.
Yep.
And that's the one thing Kelly and I always talk about is family, right? You have the family structure's been destroyed lately, especially in the black and brown community. It's a huge problem. 70% of the kids are raised by single mothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing in the Spanish homes, about 65. And we wonder why we have such a wealth gap,
Yep.
right? If you look at the Caucasians, they're at about 30%. You look at the Asians, they're at 10%. And if you look throughout Connecticut or throughout the United States, they make more money than all of us combined because they have a family structure. So if we would just realize that, it's a big deal, man.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, so I had two special. Well, I think it was 2 or 3 special guests. I had Pepper from the Salt and Pepper podcast,
Okay.
right? And I posed the question. I said, if you guys can change the law, right? Would you prefer that child support system should be set up like this? The man and the woman must have the child 50-50 of the time, but there's no child support whatsoever.
So I'm so glad. That's amazing. We just met each other. That's exactly what I'm working at the state capitol.
Crazy, right?
That is the best way because then that takes out, once you agree, Kelly, that takes out the money aspect. And then people stay for a lot longer. They stay together. They won't get divorced. They actually get married. In the black and brown community, marriage is pretty much non-avoidable.
I totally agree. So when I posed a question it was 3 females. I posed a question to them, and all 3 of them at first said they rather the money. They rather the child support come in cash and not in time. And I was like, I let them rant and go on and talk about why the money is more important than the father having 50% of the time spent with that child. I don't remember. Sorry, y'all. But towards the end of that conversation, I think they started leaning towards my side. I don't remember they fully converted over into 50. The child should be able to spend 50% of the time with the father, 50% of the time with the mother, and child support the money aspect to it should just be left out of it. Because I believe that financial raises kids, but it's not what the important factor. It's not an important factor in one raising kids. Just because if a dad spends $60K on his kid in a year and the mom spends 20, that doesn't dictate who's a better parent. That doesn't say who is better in favor because of who spent more money. I think we should definitely take that aspect out of it. Yeah. Say, listen, you 6 months out the year, if you want to do half the summer and half the school year, and then the other parent gets half the summer, half the school year, or if you want to ping it year after year, that should be the agreement. I don't think child support should be paid in money anymore.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Right, Kelly, you agree?
No, I agree. I
Okay.
mean, I have, I'm divorced. I have two children. I think the problem is that in this day and age, women are told, you want to be independent.
Yep.
But there's a difference between being like independent and then just being alone.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be alone. So, I was a single mom when their father was in their life, but I was, I had them the majority of the time, and that wasn't by choice. It was his choice.
Right.
And listen, when the weekend came and the days he was coming to get them, here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna deny. I didn't grow up with my parents. I grew up with my grandparents. I didn't have my mother and father consistently in my life. So, yes, it's very important to have both parents involved. But the system, even when I went to, I'm originally from New York, and when I was leaving, and when I went to court, they were trying to convince me at court, a male at that, to take away his rights. Why do you want to give him joint? You could have full. Why don't you do this? Like, they were instructing me on how to take away his rights. I'm like, well, why would I do that? Like, whatever didn't happen between us, it didn't work. But my kids still need their father. Now, mind you, there are some fathers, or I'll say parents, because it's not always a father. It could be the mother too, who just doesn't want to be there and just want to hand over a check, and that's fine. Right. But if the other parent wants to be part of that child's life, we should never let money get in the way. But the system wouldn't make money, so
right. Yeah,
that's
I totally
why they
agree.
do that.
Because I don't pay child support. I don't know, but I've heard that.
Well, I do.
Okay, so and we pay child support. Does a court collect a percentage of that money?
So the way it works, and you're pretty close. So they get subsidized from the federal government, and then that gets straightly to the state. So anytime people go on child support, so that helps out with state welfare and things of that nature.
Guys, so there is an incentive for the state to put you at.
Well, that's how do you think they pay for state welfare? So it's men like me who make really good money, they take advantage of. They don't care about the men that don't make really good money. Either they lock them up, or they know they're not going to be good fathers. Anyway.
Right.
And so here's a great statistic for everyone. They can look it up. And most people think that black fathers are deadbeats overall. It's a false narrative.
Yes, it is.
So actually, since 1960, when this was put in place, as far as the welfare system goes, black fathers pay on time and more than any other race. But yet we're told that
we're the worst.
It's just not the case. What the truth is, and I know, financially, I know myself, I have one of the best lawyers still fighting for, I have 50-50 custody of my youngest son, but still fighting for more. And it cost me well over 70, 80 grand to get to that, right? So if you don't have the money, you might as well not. Just take an agreement.
Take the agreement,
yeah,
right.
because even some of the best lawyers will tell you, just take the agreement.
Yep.
With that being said, do what you can. Try to set yourself up as a father. Drop things off. Have daycare set up so that way you look like a responsible father. Do as much as you can there to give yourself the best shot possible. But you don't stand too much of a chance here in Connecticut as a man. Just that's the truth. Unless you have money, and even then, it's very difficult.
Yep. I listened to this dude on YouTube, the lead attorney, right? He's a 20-year divorce
Black
attorney.
Guy?
Yep. Big teeth, shiny head. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and he was saying the same thing. He said, men, if you don't have the money, don't even waste the money fighting for your kids because the system's not set up to say, oh, just because you spend this much means you're going to win this case. You're going to spend that and possibly lose it and still not have your children, So he was saying if you don't have the money to play with it, don't do it. Which kind of makes it kind of scary because it's like, the power is really in the woman's hand. Like the woman can decide what the relationship between you and your children will be.
Think about it. The reason why, though, the reason why this has happened is if you give the woman the power and the father, who is the provider and the strong one, I'm not saying women are not strong, but the protector, right? And that still holds the case every single time.
Right.
If you remove the father, you take votes, and this comes down to politics, right? The Democratic Party's been. And I have nothing against either party, right? But the Democratic Party has been using the black vote for over 60 years. Just look at it, right? And in order to keep that vote, you have to have an independent black woman. Most of the time when you have two families together, they tend to be independent or they tend to be, voting-wise, independent or Republicans.
Right.
Because then you become financially responsible.
Yeah.
Because you have two incomes, you're probably going to buy a house, you're probably going to be well off. You're going to put your kids in college or you're going to open up a business.
Yes.
You're not going to rely on the government.
Right.
We spend so much money, over $1 trillion as in the black community, and white people's goods. And yet we say the white people hold us down, but yet we're spending our money on our goods.
I 100% agree. That's why I tell people you're not gonna ever catch me on this platform in no other brands unless it's given to me as a gift. Or if it's not like black owned, because I really want to help get like black owned items as normal as white items, right? I'm not racist. We're all not racist.
No, I'm half white.
Right. So we're not gonna be like, well, this water is made by white people, so we don't do that. But there should be equal opportunity for me to say, okay, this is made by this company, this made this guy. Oh, this guy's good. I should be able to do that and be like, all right, I want smaller people. I could drink this water and so forth. Or I want to drink. I want to wear this shirt. This shirt was made by a local person. Right. I want to wear this shirt. Stuff like that. So, I totally agree with that. Let's talk about marriage real quick. So, do you guys believe in the unit of marriage?
I absolutely do. It's just very difficult when you go through certain situations to trust. When you lose money or lose kids, like I have, because of it, it's hard. Right.
So with the numbers, and I think you were saying earlier, like the divorce rate between like Black and Latinos average, let's say 65, right? 65%, I think you said, or
no. What I said was single mothers raising kids. So it doesn't matter if they were married or not married.
Okay.
Black men are not really marrying black women. They're more so marrying white women than they do.
Not more than black women.
So black men marry more white women.
No way.
Yeah, look it up.
In 2023, you're saying that more black men marry white women than black women?
Now, yeah.
Like 51-49?
I don't know the percentage.
But I'm saying like that.
Yeah, we have to check it out. Pull it up. Yeah.
Kelly, we'll pull that up again. You gotta let me know.
He's the researcher over here.
That's crazy. I feel like it's kind of scary because now, once again, y'all know ain't no racism living here. But I think that it's not healthy to how can I say this? Because I guess it's 50-50. It's not really too bad. I just feel like our other races aren't working like that. You're gonna what's the word? You're gonna dilute the race. Like there's not gonna be a lot of black people in the future if you're choosing to marry and give your resources and your legacy to another race. Then you kind of dwindle out. And to me, it sounds like a problem because I don't think other races are doing it intentionally. Like Chinese people will never. I don't think Chinese people ever marry blacks more than Chinese.
Not as much, no. But when they do marry black men.
Chinese women?
Chinese women.
Oh, okay.
That started with the war.
The war, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So since 1967, it's gone up from 3% to 17%.
17% of black men marry white women,
and the opposite for 3% to 10% for
white
black men to black women.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's interesting, right?
So would you?
Do you want to know why that is?
Go ahead.
Kelly, why do you think it is?
He says it's my mouth.
I kind of agree.
So when I was younger, right, it was so much easier, right? Especially if you're a good-looking guy, it's easier to get women that are not healthy, right? You don't want to put up with that. I just go over there and I could deal with the white woman. She's not going to say as much. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean it's healthier, right? My mother's half white, so again, it doesn't mean it's healthier, but it was easier. But later in life, I had two best friends. I'm not, they moved away. They why aren't you dating black women? I'm not going to date black women. They told me that, and look what ended up happening, right? I'm going to marry a black woman, right? So it's great. I'm glad I met her because it's like my opposite. She puts me in check when I need to be. I'm a hard-headed person, right? So you kind of need that sometimes.
I agree.
Yeah.
You said you did have sons, correct?
Yeah, two.
So would you advise your sons to get married? If they're like that, I don't know how I feel about getting married. Would you push to get married, or would you push not to get married? And Kelly, I'm coming to you next.
Man, I want to say they should get married, but they have to be very cautious when they get married, depending on where they're at in life, right? If they, so if they have a lot of financials, or if they have a lot, kids,
a lot of resources,
stuff to lose, you better protect yourself as far as prenups and things of that nature. If not, try to find a good woman if you can. That's more traditional. It's very difficult. If you can go that route, then and somebody that respects you, you'll know right off the bat.
I totally agree. Yeah. Kelly, what you think?
I believe in marriage. I was married, and like I said, I was divorced. I never wanted to be divorced because I wanted to keep a family unit because I didn't grow up with my parents. So when I had my two children, I was like, I'm going to ride or die this to the end. But if you're not in a healthy relationship, you can't do that either. Yeah. So you got to know when to get out. So that's what I did. And we're engaged, and, it took a while for that to happen because of the fear of being more on his side because of things that he went through. And I understood, I understood that. But I would tell my kids, I think you should get married. But the thing is that he has 2 boys, I have 2 girls. Mm-hmm. So what I would tell my daughters is that, you know, you have to respect your man. You could be independent because, you know, it's good to be independent, but there's a, like I said, to a certain degree is you still should respect your man. There's still certain things that you should do to keep your relationship, not just say, well, I'm going to do whatever I want. And but it's communication is the key. If you can't communicate, then what's the point? So we communicate all the time, sometimes a little too much, right?
That's
and we bump heads because we're a day
Mm-hmm.
apart on our birthdays.
Right,
We're both, he's the male version of me and I'm the female version of him, so we get along.
All right, real quick. We're going to take a quick commercial break, jump back on the mic. You know what we do. I got Derek, I got Kelly. We are breaking down relationship dynamics. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about the real things. We'll be right back. All right, perfect. Yo, it's your boy Luce to God, live from the pod bus, doing what I do for real. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for liking, commenting, and sharing, subscribing to content. Y'all know I do what it does, and I does what it do. In order to keep doing this, though, I do need some donations. If y'all got it like that, I would love to take some donations so I can get this bus on the road and I can come to a city and state near you. Till then, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 4,000 watch hours so we can get this thing monetized and we can get on the road. In order to do that, y'all know what time it is. Support. Best way we know how. Lucia got in the building. Lucia got on the pod bus for real, doing this for real. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Peace. All right, perfect. You know how we do. We back. You know what I'm saying? Quick water break because we like to drink water over here. You know what I mean? All right, Kelly. So you were saying that you were telling your daughters that they need to know how to communicate properly with men. Why do you think women have such a hard time communicating with men?
I don't know the answer to that. Honestly, I think that we, in this day and age, we've just been beat to be independent, to just like, if you're mad, just go on and party and go on social media. Like, no one knows how to express their
Speak
feelings.
with whoever you want.
Right, like no one knows how to
Sexual
express.
liberation.
Right, exactly. So it's like they don't communicate, or they're communicating is arguing. Like I get it. At one point, to me, it was easy to say bye and just walk out the door, and not, you don't even know what it means, and then just start over again, right? Because that's what they keep putting on our head. It's like, why deal with the conflict when you could just leave it?
Right. Okay.
You know, people don't realize, and you might take a lot of flack for what I'm about to say, but I don't really care. You know, people don't realize good men don't want to normally be with women that slept with men.
100%.
Other men, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why we're men and women. And people, you know, at the end of the day, it's a double stereotype. Men sleeping with a lot of women is not a big deal. Well, genetically, we are different.
100%.
Right? We spread our seed. I know women don't like to hear it. Even sometimes when I tell Kelly, she's like, why are you saying it? But it's factual.
It's
right?
facts. It is.
But it is fact, right?
Yes.
Women hold the kids, and they're meant to stay with that. It's a
100%.
protector, unless that protector can't protect them anymore. That's just a fact. It's biological. It's been proven. You know, men can sleep with another woman and not care about them,
And not love his woman any less.
Right.
That's
not that I would do that, but it's
know.
vice versa. You should still respect your woman.
Right.
But that's just the truth.
I think biologically it makes sense though, because let's bring it back 100,000
It's
years.
through evolution.
Right, 100,000 years ago, me and you would have to go through some kind of training to learn how to build a house, hunt, kill, protect, and I'm talking about on a level of 100,000 of survival. Right, our survival. Sorry, our woman's survival, our children's survival is based on our survival.
Correct.
Right, so we did that for billions of years, where we were the prime protector. Women never had to equally put up enough resources as the man did to protect as much as the man do.
Nor should they have to.
Right, nor should they have to. Granted. Now, I think everything should come with a reward and a consequence, right? If you're going to go out there and put your life on the line for anything, there should be a reward. If you're going to be protected, there should be a consequence. You can't have the same rewards of a person protecting you as the person, you know, as if you're really the one being protected. You know what I mean? So to go back to what you were saying, I think it's different that when, like, obviously when men have the urge to have sex with a bunch of women or be with a bunch of women, because one, men have to earn it, right? Like, men can't just walk up and be like, I want sex with you, I want sex with you. They have to go, they have to earn it from a woman, whereas women can go up and just pick and choose who they want to sleep with. So it's totally different, and a woman can only hold one egg per year. You know what I mean? Whereas a man, as much women as you put out there that can have kids, they will have the children,
right? And then also the men, not to cut you off,
Okay.
the men had to know that's not their child. So that's through evolution, right?
Yes.
That's what they had to be there. They didn't know because they're spreading so many seeds. That's the deal. Not that it's right. It's just how evolution, how men operate, how women operate.
Yes.
Women have to love you. They have to care about you. Just
it has been incentive. That'd be something that they need or want from you in order to sexually let themselves go. Whereas men, I tell you, I know if y'all watch this podcast, what I'm about to say.
What do you think, Kelly?
No, wait, let him finish.
All right, real quick. I always say this: a woman could walk out of a club, right, pick up a big rock, and just throw it as hard as she can, crack a man in the skull till his face is just bleeding. She could walk up to him, put her finger on his ear, say, "I'm so sorry," wipe it off with her arm, right? That man is gonna fall in love. He will fall in love, knowing she threw the rock, knowing she busted him in the face. She will fall in love.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Right. Now let's reverse it. If a man looked at a woman wrong, right, says something wrong, forget about throwing a rock. You're going to jail. If you say the wrong thing, a woman can easily disqualify a guy, right? You're not worth it. Easily. And that goes to show you how much men don't value sex, or we don't value that thing that women value when scouting out a partner. Because you could throw a rock at us and you can still get us sexually. You may not get us loyal, like you may not get that loyalty, but you can get us sexually. Whereas women, it's like a thin line you have to walk in order to even get to that threshold, right? So that's all I was saying. But you said you would Kelly's opinion.
I like it.
Right?
What?
No, the way he said it.
No, I like. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense.
So all right. So I got another question. So you both have children. I'm gonna put you at both because you're married. Y'all son that you share. Say, hey, mom and dad, I really want to get married. I'm fresh out of Harvard, right? I'm working with Pratt & Whitney in their law program. I'm set to do really good for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with this chick I went to school with. She was a OnlyFans girl. You know, she had fun. But, you know, Dad, I love her. She's good to me. You know, she's talking about she wants me to marry her before we move forward. What are you going to tell your child? Your son?
So I'll let Kelly speak.
Okay, let Kelly go first.
I'm going to tell you flat out what
I know what you're going to say.
Okay, Kelly.
Prenup. That's what he's going to say.
Even worse, if she was OnlyFans, I'd say absolutely not.
Instant?
She's for the streets.
She's for the streets?
Yeah.
There's no...
You can bang her as much as you want. I don't care. But you're not married.
You're not married. And you put your foot down. You're not going to let him pick on his own or feed him with...
It's not about pick.
Right.
He'll lose everything he ever had.
Right.
She's for the streets.
Okay. So OnlyFans girls cannot be saved? How do you feel about that? Like what do you think is the threshold that can bring a woman back from that space?
So once a woman hits their... well, there's probably two things, and Kelly could probably elaborate a little bit more. But there's probably two things here. One, once they hit a certain age, past their 30, 35, they probably now at that point, like, they don't want to be left alone, right? So they're a little bit more subtle, more loyal. And the second thing depends on how dominant my son is, right?
Right.
Depending.
Because she can walk over him, but if he's strong enough.
So if my son is extremely dominant, like both of my kids are not, they mostly, favor their mother. They're just not mama's boys, right? So at the end of the day, if they're not dominant and super confident in themselves where they can just say peace, I don't care how bad you are, peace, because I can go get another girl too anytime I want, then forget it.
Right.
Yeah. But no, she's for the streets.
She's for the streets.
Yeah.
You agree, Kelly? Can a girl not make it back from OnlyFans for your son?
I can't. I don't agree.
Your lawyer's son.
I don't agree, though.
You think she can make it back?
Everybody's...
Of course.
You can't just make a blanket statement. You're going to have those girls that there's no coming back. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to have people, girls, or even, that you don't know where their past is, the trauma they've been, why was she on OnlyFans? I mean, that's my son's... We could talk, we could communicate, but he's a grown person, and that's his decision to make. I can give him my advice.
What would your advice be?
It would just be to be careful, And I'm sorry, this is the argument that we have all the time because that I don't want. I can sit here and be judgmental if I've been with someone and that person did something to me, and I go with someone else and they remind me and think that person's going to do the same thing, then I never will give anybody a chance.
Right.
Well, all the trauma that goes on in our world. I don't see how you cannot see past somebody and get to know someone and see if they did change. I mean, she could be on... I don't know why she was on OnlyFans.
Here's the problem with that. The scenario that he gave is that Harvard lawyer, women don't have anything to lose. right? If she was the vice versa.
But she said she was on OnlyFans. But what is she doing now?
But he just said OnlyFans.
Right, we don't.
I just said she
was.
was.
She
Said he
was.
right?
Yeah,
so
just was.
Let's say she makes more money, right? And it's vice versa, then fine. In this case, he has, and then kids, right? I wouldn't recommend having kids with her at that point. I don't care, right?
Okay.
Because at that point, again, depending on how dominant he is, prenup has to be put in there, but that doesn't save you from your kids. Women can say that because they're going to end up with the kids, they're going to end up with the money.
Right.
So they can say that because they're not in our shoes. So it's easy for them to say, hey, yeah, you forget. It's a higher risk. The probability of dating that girl, 90% of the time, yes, you could find that 10%, but why should I let my son, or at least not tell him what probably is going to happen?
Right.
You might have that 10% or that 5% woman in there that, yeah, she turned her life around, but why would I want him to take that risk? He can lose everything. He could be down and out, right?
Yeah.
He could be without his kids. This is what happens. 85% of women, 89% of women end up with the kids.
Yes.
And they end up with the money because they make more money.
Yes.
Now, if it's vice versa, she was OnlyFans and she has a great job, she's doing well, then okay, it's not that big a risk as much.
You just say he could give her kids?
But he didn't say.
No,
she
but
was
I'm
doing
saying
that
the
now.
scenario.
Right.
So he just said
Yeah.
she was on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
There was no career choice of what she was doing now. Hold on.
Right.
And just saying because I'm saying that because I'm a female, but I guess I think a little differently.
No, trust me. All the
Females say that.
the females have agreed with what you said.
Yeah, because what I mean by that is that
Right.
I'll give my kids to
'Cause
their
they've
father.
done these things.
No, but I'll give my kids to their father. I don't need his money.
Right.
You understand? I think differently than that. Like some women, they like
But
I
you
said,
didn't.
my kids when their father comes, take them. When I'm with him and the issues that he's going through and what the other women are doing, I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it at all. I feel his pain and I know that, yes, 50-50, the kids should, so when you're saying that, I'm saying that because I'm a female and I'm just saying
Yes,
automatically. Because if he was, maybe she's not that woman that would take him to the
And you may be right. She may
She
not
may
be that
not
woman.
be.
Why would
She
you
may
want him
not
to take
be.
that risk?
You're both
may
right.
not be.
You're 100%
It's
both
a
right. She
thin
may
line.
not be that woman, but why should your son take the risk? He's a
Take
lawyer.
the risk.
I don't know what she do.
She shouldn't
What-
take
whatever
the
she
risk.
does.
Say?
The
I don't know.
answer for men until the law changes,
Yeah.
when the law changes, then I would say go ahead and take that risk.
Right.
At this point, 90% of the time, he's losing.
Yes.
That's just a fact.
Let me
It's
just
not even
assess
hard.
this real quick because I've done this. I've asked that couples the questions
Yeah.
a bunch of times, and I think the reason why there's such a disagreement, right, a point of contention, is that women don't understand
No.
the perplexity of the risk, and then you kept saying it, and I'm hearing it again. I'm just like, yo, it's the risk.
This is-
And I'm not to say you're not wrong. You're 100% right. She could. You can't judge every woman just because she did OnlyFans and just because she's not just one way.
But that's the only thing I'm focusing. I know the risk because I'm living with him every
Right.
day.
But 90. So, but he's
Well,
saying
if I
that
told
this
you
is
right,
90%.
it's 90%.
Yes, yeah. I'm just saying this is
It
a
is 90%.
hypothetical
Right,
thing, and he
89.
said, I mean,
I think with the college degree is 90% for
Yeah.
divorce. But go ahead.
but I know the risk because he's going through it every day.
So why would we want our son? We don't have a son.
Right.
We should have. I would have had a busload of kids, man. I love
Right.
kids. But because of that, I wouldn't take the risk again.
Right.
I know she wouldn't have done it. I just didn't want to put myself through that. I love my kids.
Yes.
Especially without growing up with my father. I spent so much money to try to get my kids. No one ever saw me back with that, right?
Mm.
I haven't drank in 10 years, right? I lost 100 pounds 6 years ago, right? I changed my life around. The thing is, until women are put in that position
Right.
over and over, they can. And I
Don't
tell you,
understand.
this is something we do get in a little argument about it. I say, and I don't mean to say it because I know she loves me, but you don't understand where
Yeah.
I'm coming from. You
She's
don't
not a
miss
man.
this
Well, I'm
conversation.
not-
You're not a man,
Because
so
if you
Right.
did, you would say you wouldn't want your son to take
No.
the risk. It's too high.
Hold on,
of a
just
risk.
because and I'm gonna flip it, right? Here's the flip to it.
Yeah.
You have now you both share a daughter, right? She's dealing with the guy who used to sell weed, who used to sell dope, and he's coming into the house. Hey miss, you know, typical urban young black man.
Yeah.
Your daughter is on her way to become a lawyer. But she's like, Mom, I love him. I want to stay with him. You know, she's changing his life. Would you let your daughter now go ahead and allow him to marry her?
But you're saying he's walking into the house hood.
He's a hood dude, yeah.
Right?
He's
He's
just how he grew up.
He's a hood dude. We didn't say that the girl was still doing OnlyFans.
No, we didn't. But the girl was just OnlyFans. That's what I'm saying.
Right, so-
Yeah.
So the girl was just OnlyFans. This guy is just a hood dude.
So
So would you let your daughter marry him?
that's her choice.
Obviously, but what would your advice be?
My advice would be to protect yourself. The same thing I would tell my son.
But you say like
Financially
get
to
your
protect.
blessings.
What?
She get your blessings.
Well, I'm gonna want to get to know the dude. Like I want to
He's
get
a
to know the OnlyFans chick.
typical hood dude. He finished college, but you know once you
If he's in the street just humming and bumming it, then of course not. If the chick was still doing OnlyFans when
Then-
the son came, I'm gonna say, of course not.
Okay, but if he used to, but not no more. Now he's
I
just
mean,
trying
he
to figure
changed
it
his
out.
life. You used to sell, used to sell drugs. You're not doing that now, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Right. So if I would judge you for what your past was, I wouldn't be sitting
Again,
here.
what I'm talking about is risk. You have to.
Yeah.
risk
No,
it,
but-
you know what I'm
but
saying?
I know,
You
but
keep
he's-
going past because of whatever your past.
No,
is.
no,
Most women,
he's saying-
So the issue is you have to understand the risk probability.
No, there is a big risk for a man
But
because
there's
a
no,
woman
there's
is
not
so
that
angry.
much risk for women.
No, there isn't. I never said there was.
Yeah.
There only is a risk if, like I said, if she was a lawyer. She was going to
Right,
be a lawyer
if
because
she-
you know
right.
she's going to make money, and
Right.
he's not going to
Right.
match. You already
He
know
doesn't
she's going to be
match.
left for
Right.
destitute.
What do you think I'm going to tell her?
There's no
I know you
match.
gonna. I know what you going.
But there's no match there. If he's coming and he's still living in the street.
What am I? You know what I'm going to tell her?
you gonna say?
And had,
Yo, dads don't play, especially with their daughters.
well,
Well,
exactly.
even my stepdaughter too.
Right.
There ain't no kids.
Right.
There ain't no little boys. No.
That's good.
No,
That's
right.
good. And you
And I
need
talk,
to.
and I also talked to her about her body and how she needs to treat her body, not multiple men, because that's what you're going to be respected. Like, this is not my daughter. She's not my blood daughter. So I
Right.
talk to her.
Right, and that's good though, because just
Respect your body.
a man that has no incentive to have sex with a woman gives the best advice. If the guy's not trying to sleep with you, if the guy's not liking
Right.
you or anything like that, he gives you advice, women take it, because men don't just give, if we're going to give you advice and there's no sexual incentive, it's most likely the most logical and best advice you're going to get. So I respect the fact that you do that for her daughters
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. What's good for my son is good for them.
Right. So I asked about the son, and if now let's go back to the son real quick. Now let's say this the son and the woman is married, the woman cheats. Dad, do you tell him to leave? The divorce?
The woman cheats?
The woman cheats.
Oh, God, he's got to go.
He got to go.
He's got to
Kelly, you agree?
Yeah, buy her stay.
All right, let's flip it now. Daughter, she's married, 2 children. He's a good guy up until the cheating and stuff. Now
Gotta go too.
he got to go.
Yeah.
Divorce.
Yeah.
2 kids.
So what?
So-
what did I
Yeah,
say?
good,
When
good.
when a relationship is unhealthy, you should have stayed. So
Okay.
that's not.
go. No,
that's
wait,
not
he
healthy.
didn't say it wasn't healthy.
No,
But
what's
that's
up?
not,
No,
but that's not a healthy
he's
relationship.
a good
He
guy
cheated.
up until the cheating.
But he cheated.
Yeah.
So something wrong. Right?
No, not with that. No.
No, something wrong. He
Yeah,
can
here we
too,
go.
but I'm
Let's
gonna
talk about
tell
it.
him there's something wrong.
Let's talk.
Something
Matter of
wrong.
fact, 'cause I want a clean 20 minutes on this one. We're gonna take another quick break and we're gonna get back to this. Yo, we getting it spicy, son. Be right back.
Connecticut, New York, and Massachusetts? Are you ready to take your party to the next level, introducing a real gaming experience? Well, buckle up because we've got something extraordinary for you. Introducing the Golden Gates Mobile Gaming Bus, your ultimate gaming destination on wheels. Imagine this. You and your friends stepping into a world of pure gaming heaven. Our state-of-the-art bus is packed with the latest consoles, high-definition screens, and a library of games that will blow your mind. Whether you're into intense multiplayer battles or immersive single-player adventures, we've got you covered. Whether it's a birthday party, corporate event, or school function, we'll be there, ready to make your event a gaming extravaganza. Find our website at goldengatesbus.com/gamebus or call 863-250-112 and book your game day before it's too late.
Happy birthday, David!
When we last left off, Kelly said she had a point of contention. If
He can go.
he has
He
to
can
go,
He can go.
they've been
I'm
together
not-
8 years, 2
I
kids, a
don't
beautiful
care.
family, nice house.
There
He's
was a
very
reason there was lack of communication. If something was bothering him that he felt that he needed to seek some other female, then he could stay with that female.
Derek, do you believe that a man needs a reason to have sex with another woman?
No, not man. No.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in the episode.
Okay.
Biologically, the way we're wired, we don't really care about.
So you're telling me that when someone's married, it's okay for the man to go on?
I didn't say it was okay.
No, it's never okay.
Wait,
So
no.
right. So why should she
Wait a
stay?
minute. I never said it was okay.
So why should she stay?
Because
Again, he's not bonded to the other woman. It's scientifically proven.
yes,
It's a fact. They don't care.
it's like a handshake.
Just
yeah.
as much as he don't care about her is how much I wouldn't care about him. So
Right.
he
No,
can
I'm
go.
not saying you're wrong if you want to leave him, but I would tell my daughter,
2 kids deep.
Right. 2 kids deep.
I'm not.
Things going well.
Now I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I know because I know men, right? And I plan to be in my daughter's life as long. Me and my baby mother are still together. I love her
Good.
so much.
Good.
I try to tell her, and I don't tell her, but I tell my child's mother all the time. Don't ever look at a guy cheating, or don't ever tell Rainbow that my daughter's named Rainbow. Don't tell Rainbow that a guy cheating has anything to do with her, because that's not true whatsoever. Women have this thing in their head where they're like, oh, like you said, communication, some point of lacking. She's not doing this right, and that is the furthest thing from the truth, because I totally believe that a man can have sex with another woman and lose zero. He can mess around and love his woman, his original woman, more, because it's the way we look at sex. It's a dominant sub. If your man is a man who likes a dom in every aspect of his life, he's a dom in the finance world, he's a dom when it comes to relationships, he's a dom when it comes to networking. When it comes to women and the dynamic between men and women, if he's not a dom there, then it wouldn't necessarily fit, right? It wouldn't look right. If the man if he's gonna be a dom, he's gonna be a dom with women. Women love dominant men, right? Women love masculine alpha men. So if you are a woman and you have this alpha man, the alpha men are gonna try to dominate other women. Doesn't mean he loves his woman any less. Doesn't mean he wants to walk away from his family. Doesn't mean he wants to destroy anything. It's just that in every aspect of his life, that's where.
He can go dominate the other woman and stay with her.
Okay.
Because I'm not saying anything is wrong with my daughter.
Facts.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I didn't say she was the reason he cheated. If he felt like he needed to dominate somebody else, he could stay dominating them out there.
I get it.
Okay.
That's
all
fine.
I feel.
That's the way it should be. But the way you broke it down, and man, I'm not saying they should be going out and
right.
trying to dominate.
Right.
Dominate your home first.
Right.
But if it were to happen.
You're gonna have old men walking around saying,
they
told me that's an excuse now because I'm a man. This is normal to do.
But you have to understand, men are getting dominated by women
right now. Yes,
not all men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Majority.
Majority.
No,
yes. Right. If they didn't grow up, see, there's a misconception. I had this talk with her. We'll talk about it now. That a lot of men sleep with a lot of women. That's just false, right? So I remember being in high school. I used to tell my stories about I was a football player. Having sex with multiple girls at that time. I thought everyone was doing exactly what I was doing. Right. It wasn't true. So they would hate on me, right? Yes. I didn't even know when they say, "Oh, he's cheating on her, he's cheating on you." I'm like, "What the heck?" I thought we're all doing the same thing, right? But the fact is, women want a 6 foot man, 6 foot male, right? They want making money, doing all these different things, right? And women. We don't care. Oh, she got a nice.
Right, she worked at McDonald's.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Right? That's how you know we don't.
She can flip burgers.
That's how you know we don't care about it, right?
Yes.
Listen, I didn't say you care.
Yeah.
But
I know. I say what
that's
you said.
I
guess so.
Because I can't look at you the same way.
I get it. But it is what it is, right? But that's what happens.
Right. So, and the reason why that's a funny question that I asked is because somebody said, "Oh, you're not gonna know until you're actually in that situation." And I've never cheated on my girl or anything like that, or I've never been in any kind of cheating scandal. But I'm like, it's so to me it's so obvious. It's like, okay, I'm a guy. If I went out, I think if every man who had a woman and the woman allowed him to say, hey, listen, you can test your sexual options. As a woman, I'm not gonna test my sexual options, but I'll let you test your sexual options, and I'm not gonna put your family or your resources at risk if you decide to do so. As long as you're safe, you're not being no disease, you don't bring no children.
Right.
As long as you follow those specific guidelines, I'll keep the home intact. I think. Matter of fact, before I tell what I think, Kelly, what % of men do you think would agree to that? So that if their woman say you can
giving
have
them a
yes.
pass.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yes.
Of course they're gonna be like, yeah. My girl is dope, yo.
Yeah.
She let me cheat.
Yeah.
Out of here.
So it's like 99% of guys.
Man, really? Come on.
Okay, so now let's talk about females. How many females you think will take that? If their guy was like
nowadays, they probably take it too.
Same amount, 99%.
I don't know.
I don't think so either. But what do you think?
I'm just saying. I'm making a joke because you're saying how women are more dominant than men.
Some.
Yes, some, right? But a woman would. Why would we? If we're with that man, then you're telling me that I could just go out and just sleep with people and then come back.
Sleep with other men.
But as we say that a woman is emotions.
Right. Exactly.
So. Then we'll form an emotional attachment with somebody else, and then you done screwed up.
Exactly, and I think that's why women don't understand about the whole cheating conversation. If you what it would take for a woman to cheat means that if she has sex with the next man, she's already gone. She's off you. Right. She's off you.
Oh, she's been off.
She's been off you. Yeah. Exactly.
It built up to that. Yeah.
Guys are total opposites. Right. Guys are like I said, he can have sex with a woman and love you more after having sex with another woman. And I just think it's crazy.
I mean, spot on, right? Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about boundaries. I don't know if y'all been keeping up in the news, but Keke Palmer's boyfriend, right? I think his name is Demarius or something like that. Whatever, Demarius Jackson, something like that. He had a problem with Keke Palmer going to the Usher concert because Usher serenaded her, and she was wearing this see-through thing with her ass out, and he was when he was singing to her, he was cupped her waist side, and you know how Usher get down.
Yeah.
And he did the Usher thing on her.
Yeah.
Her baby father.
I'd have packed her clothes.
Packed her clothes, right?
Yeah.
Baby father came on internet, right? And said, "Oh, you're a mom now. You shouldn't be doing this."
He's 100% right, but he should have went one further and said, "I'm gonna pack your clothes."
He should have left her.
Yeah.
She the breadwinner.
Because it's already over. He'll get the money anyway.
That's true. That's true. Kelly, what you think? Is that
He
enough to
should've
walk
been-
away?
Why wasn't he with her?
I mean, she makes a lot of money. She's Keke Palmer.
Who cares?
And?
She
And?
disrespected.
So she should So that was your son, Demarius Marcus Jackson was your son. You would tell him to walk away from that, the whole thing she did.
Well, I mean, it was disrespect. Listen, I like Sheer, but there's a way it still could be classy with it.
I agree.
And if she was single, okay,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But you're not single.
Right.
You have a significant other. And it's not even. I'm not even gonna go about she's a mom. You just have a significant other. It doesn't have to be about being a parent.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that moment right there, it was just like, ooh, you know. At first, like, okay, and then she turned around, the whole ass cheeks out. I was like, oh my god. At first, I was like, oh, she looks nice for the but when she turned, it was just too much. She took it to the next level, and it was inappropriate. And to do that, and you know that's gonna get back. You're a celebrity. You know, all cameras is on you. Come on. You're not taking his feelings in consideration at all. And if anything, he should have been standing right next to you.
I agree.
You know what I mean? You still should have had the ass cheeks out. But
Yeah.
if he would be okay with that, if you're with him together, then that's fine. But you're with him. You weren't with him. You would just look like a single
You look
person.
single.
You look like a single person. Like you were ready.
Right.
What do you mean ready? That means she's already cheated.
See, she already mentally.
Absolutely.
She
No,
has
not mentally. I think she probably already cheated.
On him?
Yeah, absolutely.
From what she displayed.
Absolutely. No respect.
Yeah, it's kind
Zero
of disrespectful.
See, ladies.
Think about it, right? Think about how women are. She would have never let him hug
No.
on her. I don't care if he's Usher or not. It don't make
Nah.
a difference.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
If she respected him, I already know that she don't respect me.
That's facts.
Yeah, I don't care who it is walks in.
And it's crazy how she could do one thing, and that one thing that she did, which is allow Usher to palm her up, gave men the information to be like, oh, that guy got to be weak. Because I feel like for you to sit there and allow your woman to do that and still trying to like, you know, make this thing work after she hasn't apologized. She actually doubled down a little bit.
Of course, because he's getting punked.
Right.
By other women.
I agree.
And that's what's wrong with our black and brown community. That's why we don't stay married.
Talk about it.
Right. And we talk about, we raise our kids. At 70% of black women are raising their kids alone. So if you want to be single as a black woman, then be single. Right. But then don't bring kids into the situation either. If you want to disrespect yourself and disrespect your body, then go ahead and do that. Guess what, though? That's what's going to happen. When you're 50, 60 years old, you're going to be left alone with a cat or a dog. and it's happening now, right?
Yes.
And then you're going to be beat up, and then you're going to get that man that you really didn't want anyway.
Yep.
See, that's a thin line. I get, she's a celebrity, so
It don't matter.
That's what I'm saying. A celebrity is a human being, just like everybody else. Whatever career path they chose, they're making money from. But they're human,
Yep.
and they follow. It's even worse for them because the camera's always on you. So you gotta be mindful of that. And to do that, it was just like basically telling her husband, I don't care, you don't matter, right? You don't matter. Even if she was in that outfit and he came to sing and she kind of was like a little offstandish and didn't let him touch her and stuff and maybe didn't turn around and do all that extraness, but it went extra. He should have never touched her.
So you think Usher is wrong for touching her?
She should have never.
But I mean, he don't care.
Who cares about him?
He is not. I'm saying she. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. She shouldn't allowed him to touch her.
Right.
Yes.
She should have kind of backed him up a little bit, kind of.
Oh
being
yeah,
like,
be cute about it,
baby. Right,
yeah.
like she could have been cute about it, like respect my boundaries, my personal space, but she didn't. Right. And then she then turned around, and then they capture the image of him looking, and he just
doing the whole.
Yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, a little too much.
Killed my soul.
It's never on the man; it's on the woman.
She would have came home to an empty house.
I definitely agree.
If Kelly, I walk home and I get home and Kelly cheats, that's on her. That's not on the man. I'm not fighting him. Yeah, that's on him. Go ahead, bro.
He said if Kelly cheats, I totally agree.
I'm not gonna go beat up.
But I'll help you pack your clothes.
Yo, easily. Yo, I told my girl, I was like, She was like, you
but that's
mad?
not on him. We get mad at the guy. She's the one that had to open the leg. She's the one that had to give in. As you said earlier in the conversation, it's not that easy for most men to get laid, right?
Yes.
Depending on who you are, right?
Right.
And the higher status, yes, you could date.
Easier, but never be
It's
that
a lot
easy.
easier, right?
Right.
Or if you're better looking, you have money, it's easier.
Right.
And when you're ultra rich, when you get to that next level, then then you can make
Then you can play
contracts.
around, right.
Then you can make contracts and say, hey, I can sleep with whoever I want.
Right. Now, and
That's still not right either.
you don't think so?
I mean, here's the thing. We do want to start teaching our young youth to be respectful. And that's the biggest thing, especially in the black and brown community, to try to stay married.
I think contractual marriage and like how you were kind of going when you say like,
I know where you're gonna go.
Right. I think that should be a norm to have to be earned because men know it, right? You know, it's kind of. It sucks. Is the men psyche, we know it. Like we know, like if you get yourself to ultra status, I'm talking about you work
ultra.
You have to beat out 4 billion other men, right? To become top echelon, and to give it up, to then say, all right, I worked this hard, and no offense, Kelly, please, no offense at all, but to have sex with one woman for the rest of my life after I've out earned 4 billion men, I can see how that won't resonate well with most rich men. Because, like I said earlier, if you dominate in one area, you're not going to dominate in all areas. And when it comes to women, you're like, oh, I want this for the rest of my life. I just don't think it works like that. But I think that there is a respectful way to do it. I was talking to who was it? I forgot it was anybody. But I was telling them, men should start saying in the beginning of their relationship that contract. That way,
and if she agrees,
right? If she agrees up front, then you move forward.
Right. Not in midway.
Yeah, you can't do it midway.
That's gonna work.
Well, actually,
because if I'm in a place and we're together and chick walk in that you slept with and the other girl, like it just.
But that's not respectful. That wouldn't be respectful.
Right, but that's what type of stuff that will happen because you get those chicks that think
that's
they're cute.
Yeah.
They think they're cute.
No,
I don't want to run into no chick you done slept with while I'm married.
That's the Hollywood hip hop one.
I'm talking about.
That's not what he said.
Right. I'm saying.
I want to piggyback off what you're saying. So,
sorry.
Statistically, contracts, marriages actually last the longest in history. So if you look at all the royalties and all that, that's how it started. So that's why their families and their bloodlines stay long. So that's a fact.
Right. They used to have a thing called a head mistress. Today that would be called a head side chick.
That's actually a fact.
Right.
They didn't call it a contract, but you couldn't date outside the family.
It was expected. Like people were like, oh,
but that's how they kept. But that's how they kept their bloodlines.
Yes. Yeah. So polygamy, right? Let's talk about polygamy and polygyny. Do you guys think that that's an unhealthy relationship system?
Man, you know, it is very tough in this day and age, right, to even try to consider doing something like that. It's tough depending on where you are mentally, where you're at, financially, and spiritually.
Yeah,
it depends. Very difficult. It's not for everybody. I would go against it.
You go against it?
Yeah.
Okay. Kelly,
what you think?
I know.
Why? I'm not sharing.
No,
Sharon's not caring on this part.
Like I feel like I said, if you enter the relationship under the stipulation of it's gonna be me and you, as a man, you gotta write it out.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
Listen, I will respect. If that's what the person wants, that's what they want from the beginning, by all means. But then when you start trying to do that 3 years, 4 years in, trying to add somebody else, I'm gonna look at you sideways and be like, you can keep it moving then, because that's not what I signed up for.
Right, from the beginning.
So that's the problem.
Right. Do you think, Kelly? That can you imagine a healthy relationship where a woman has 2 men and it's a healthy relationship that's working?
Why are you about nodding head?
I'm gonna go ahead next. Can you see a healthy relationship working with 2 men and 1 woman?
I don't agree that I need to have somebody else.
No, not you per se.
I mean, if that's how they entered it from start, then
you can see it working as a healthy.
I don't know, because the man will have to be okay with another man being like, if there's 2 alpha men, I don't know how that's gonna clash. Like I don't really think that's gonna work.
Okay, Derek.
First of all, there could not be 2 alpha men.
I agree.
Right.
Not that situation. Not that equation.
You're gonna have one weak and one strong. Like it just.
Well, no. So it wouldn't.
There's no healthy relationship with 2 men and 1 woman.
Because there's no way. There's always going to be one more dominant male.
Yes.
Just by nature. Mm-hmm. So it would never work.
I told you, but you can see a dynamic with a man and 2 women working.
The only reason why you could do that is because women, again, their nature.
They're submissive by nature. Okay. Kelly, you agree?
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So it's easier to have a healthy relationship with 2 women and 1 man than 2 men and 1 woman.
If the woman, they know they're entering that type of relationship and they're okay with that, then that's that can work out a little more than saying 2 men.
Okay,
I
agree.
2 men could never.
I don't think it work either. Definitely come down to pregnancy, because then it's like you're both fighting. You don't
know whose kid. It goes back again.
Right. Who's allowed to have sex with a woman while she's pregnant? Like, can you imagine?
Just
Crazy.
And there's no respect for that.
I agree. Let's talk about boundaries. Derek, tell me some boundaries that it would take to be in a relationship with a man of your status or caliber.
Well, actually, early on with Kelly, since I quit drinking, 10 years ago, started exercising 6 years ago. I said before she even came, she's from New York. I met her. We met online, and I said before you even come here, you can't drink.
Okay.
It's just not gonna happen. Right? So same thing.
Okay. So no drinking.
Yeah, just couldn't do it.
Will smoking be a make it or break it?
Yeah, I can't.
No smoke. Okay. Pork eating.
I don't care about the food.
You don't care about the food.
Right.
So it's just more like the habits of like drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. Right. I used to actually be a lot more strict with my food. I started lightening up when I was a little bit more. That's why I actually gained a little weight back. But yeah. But I'm gonna tell you this. Also, the way she dresses, right? If she's out in that share stuff, just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
you could dress up, but not to the point where it's disrespectful.
Okay. And that means no skin, like.
No, we went out. I had a sheer top on, but there's a bra underneath, and I had a blazer. It looked tasteful. It's not like walking around.
With your skin, like, with your,
with just
it's like selling. I feel like
just-
it's kind of selling. When you have like your boobs up and out, and then your butt up and out, it's like selling it.
Yeah, like that dress.
Yeah, like
Right.
Kiki's
Right,
dress
that
is
was-
a no-go.
No,
If she had something more appropriate underneath it,
we're not going out there.
You not leaving? I'm not leaving.
if she had something more appropriate underneath,
Yeah.
is what was underneath.
Yeah.
Especially when she turned, that there was too much exposed.
Okay. No past OnlyFans at all.
What do you mean?
As your boundaries, could a woman have done OnlyFans in her past?
So, I would say because I'm at a different level than where I used to be, right? So I was a knucklehead myself, right? So I wasn't always a high status back then. I'm a little more forgiving now. I'll probably take flack for this.
Okay.
It depends on where she's at. It's a lot more risky.
Okay.
Right? It's a lot more risky.
But wouldn't disqualify her?
It's still tough.
So, okay.
It's still tough. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say most cases, yes, it would disqualify her where I'm at now.
Okay, we'll disqualify her.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other boundaries that you could think of? No drugs, no alcohol, no OnlyFans content, or no like selling their body in the past. I'm assuming. What else? Could she have a lot of male friends?
Yeah, we don't do that.
No male friends.
Yeah.
None are very little. Like, what's your comfort level?
Well, you could ask her. So I'm not just
like, Kelly, a little bit or none.
So you don't have to take it from her.
That's a fact. Kelly, a little bit or none.
There's no
0. I'm the same way. I feel you. Totally feel you.
So I don't want to speak for her.
No, I feel you. So 0 male friends.
Yeah.
Unhealthy female friends.
Ask me why though.
Okay, yeah, but why not?
There's a guaranteed fact if you continue to have your girl around other men that you put your relationship at risk.
At risk.
Just because you think they're your friends, right? When they're down, we get into argument low, and that person's around, and maybe he's another high status value man, or maybe right there,
right.
Or maybe a little above.
Right.
That's another thing men need to realize too. You should not be bringing your women around other high value men consistently.
I totally
without
agree.
you being there. That's
totally
stupid.
Agree. Totally agree. It's kind of like put her up.
It ain't got nothing to do with you. That's just stupid. It's woman nature. Right?
Yeah.
She don't like to hear when I say that.
It's true though.
Right. And if she's gonna go without me being there, that's a problem. Right.
Okay.
It's a problem. You go, and this is the way the conversation goes. This is no BS, right?
Right.
This is real. Conversation goes. You can go, but you know the results of it. I can't stop you. You're a grown woman. Right.
You come back, doors locked.
You know the consequences.
Same here.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I get it. No, we have mutual respect.
That's right. Okay. So, no hanging out with overly not overly resourced men, but men of higher stature, of definitely without your consent, basically. The men that you qualify as out of your consent.
You got it, and I'm not bragging on myself. You have to understand. I came from nothing. I have a $500,000 house and make over 6 figures a year. Yeah, so I'm doing quite well. Right. So if she's around somebody doing better than me, that man is making a lot of money, right? He's
Right.
making a lot
Right.
of money. So
Right.
that's and he's probably gonna be ultra attractive too,
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're putting yourself at risk as your relationship,
Right.
and not on purpose. She may not even think anything's going. You know, may not have any intentions, but you can't continue to put your woman. It's just tied perfectly.
I agree.
They date up.
Kelly, you agree?
No, I do agree.
You do agree?
And I agree.
That
I
women have
agree
purpose?
that I wouldn't put myself in that situation
Mm-hmm.
anyway, and I wouldn't expect him to put himself in that situation.
Well, what is the
So
reverse to
I-
his situation? Because
well,
him being
no,
around rich
because-
women won't really do much.
Well, I don't really care.
But the same, but you feel comfortable if he was around a bunch of rich women?
Would I what?
Would you have a problem with him being around a bunch
Without
of rich
me?
women? Yes, without you.
Yeah, no, he stays with me.
Yeah, some things that
Uh-huh.
happen in front of her.
No, things
Okay.
have happened in front of me. Women now are disrespectful.
We're around the
just
block.
like men.
Yeah, because we're into the
Okay, so no. Okay, because I've had women in front of me saying, "Oh, can he deliver my sweatshirt?"
Yeah.
And I'm staring at her like, "Girl, you don't hop over this table and I get ghetto."
No, a lot
and
of
I had to
stuff,
hold
yeah.
myself, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm like, "You're not going to take me out of character, right?" But women nowadays, that they have no filter. They will say stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, I can't believe she just said that in front of me," or she said it to me. "Oh, he has such an infectious smile," and I said, "What?" Right, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna woosah for a
Like,
second.
what a gun at? What a
Right,
gun at?
I'm just like, I'm gonna leave it alone. So that's why it's not that again. It's not that I don't trust him, but then they don't see me around. They're gonna be like, oh, he's alone, and go to and then why make him feel like he's
Pressure to do
pressure
Okay.
and be around that either. At least I could block it a little bit, but if without me being there, it's not gonna be blocked. And it's
And to be honest, I try not to put myself in those situations, because I know how I am as a man too. So I don't want to disrespect her either.
I totally feel you. Yo, let's take this last break. You know what I'm saying? We're that Thursday and a Friday, you feel me? We're going to get back to this DK movement. We're going to learn how we move forward with that. Feel me? How we're going to bring it back together. How you going to join their podcast. How you find their podcast. And find out what DK Move is up to. You know what time it is. I got Derek and Kelly in here. We talking it up. We're doing the business. We'll be right back. Perfect. I just wanted to say too, Kelly, I think it's a little bit different. Even though I understand what you're saying, because I guess when women are a lot older, they become a lot more prone to do something like that, like approaching when you're sitting with young women. Don't really, I never really see young women do that. That's more of a older women's game to kind of walk up on a man.
I've been somewhere and a young woman just sit straight, staring at his. No.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm speaking out of experience. So it got to the point. At first, I used to just be like, "This is my mentality. Yes, he's a good-looking guy. You can look, but you can't touch. Like, I don't care. Like, I feel like, okay, yeah, he comes home with me. So I'm not that type to be like, what you staring at? I don't really. You can look, but there's a line when it becomes disrespectful, and a lot of women have done that disrespectful. I mean, I walked in his school and this woman saw him and her panties almost dropped on the floor. Oh my God, and she act like I wasn't standing there. Straight ignored me through the whole conversation. Not once turned and say, "This is your girlfriend." And she was young, and I think she lucky we weren't in the school. Because if that was in the street, I think I would have went out of character the way she did that.
She was that flagrant.
It was
You remember
that
this
bad. Look, he can't even. he
You
didn't
remember this?
even know what to do.
The problem is, I know that girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to run with her, and I never did anything with her sexually, but I used to run with her, running, and I've never seen her act like that.
Right.
She just
It was
stopped.
so. It was
Like
so
she
obvious.
And,
It was so
I'm
obvious.
oblivious sometimes. So as men, we're just
Right,
we're just talking.
Yeah.
We're,
And I'm standing
it's
there
not,
like-
it's like a regular conversation. You know what I mean? But
So that's why.
Okay.
Because of experience, that's why I say, you know what, it's better that he don't go over there wherever without me, and vice versa. Not to say that we attach to the hip, but we enjoy each other's company.
no different.
So it's different. It's not, we don't, we need alone time going in a room and watching a horror movie while he's sitting on the couch watching YouTube. That's about it. Like through the
Sounds like my
pandemic,
relationship.
we grew even closer. We
Yep.
go home, and that's when we started our YouTube. That's when we started our business, and we got time to really see, okay, how much can I take of this man every day, 24 hours a day, right? And it made us stronger.
Facts. What's some of your boundaries, Kelly?
My boundaries. It's just being respectful and not drinking anywhere. Like he said, the drinking, because I was an alcoholic too. So
you was before?
Yes, before
Okay.
I moved here. I was in the fashion entertainment world for plenty of years. And along that came with, the alcohol.
Turning up and drinking and shit.
Right, so I knew that was one thing when I moved here, that I had to stop.
Yeah.
So, and it was better for me. So, you know, me, it's just about being respectful. So, like,
Okay, so he's respectful, but he exercises options.
He's what?
He exercises options.
No, there's no options.
Oh, okay,
I'm the only one.
So he has to
So
be.
there's no saying that he's gonna go and it don't matter because he's a man. No, there's none of that.
100% monogamy.
Yes.
Respect.
Yes.
What other boundaries do you need?
I don't know. I'd say boundaries. It's just.
Okay, let me give you one. All right. I interviewed Nadia Sim. She's a poet, right? And I was asking her, could she date a submissive man? For the life of her, she could not figure out.
There's no way I could date him. He's far from submissive.
Right.
So yes, so he's very dominant. Yes, I need someone that's gonna be controlling because I got a mouth. Right? So I need somebody that's gonna be able to put me in the pace. I'm gonna walk all over you.
Okay.
I've done it. So I need somebody that's just as strong as me.
So
Stronger.
So you need somebody that's more masculine than you.
Yes.
You need somebody who is monogamous, respectful. Did I know that you guys are together all the time, but did income matter? Did it matter, if he was broke or rich before you guys got together? Did it matter?
I didn't know his income when I met him.
Yeah, and did it matter then?
It didn't matter.
Okay. So if he was like, I'm a painter, I make $15K a year.
We connected mentally.
Right.
It didn't matter because I knew that knowing him mentally, even if at that moment he made $15K a year, we're gonna build together anyway. Okay. So I need somebody that wants to continue growing and improving themselves. Somebody who's caring and somebody who's about family. So that's what I asked for, and that's exactly what I got.
So we're going to disagree a little bit on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I've told her this too before, for a short period of time that would work if I made less money.
Right. Very short.
But in the long.
You don't think she
no,
would
but I said grow together.
Okay.
No, I didn't say no.
Y'all gotta catch the slick word.
No. Because you didn't say he's making $15,000 a year. He's gonna stay like that.
Right.
I'm
But you
one
read him
that
as
help,
a painter.
But I'm one
So
that
I believe
help people
Kelly
grow.
would do that.
I
Kelly
help
would
people
stay?
grow.
She would stay, but it wouldn't.
It wouldn't last long.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he's not gonna grow,
Yeah, if he's not.
You heard what
I
she
just
did on.
said.
Right.
Listen.
if he's
Which I
not
think
going
is healthy.
to grow,
Right. So if he's a painter of 5 years, and he's a painter when you started. 5 years, he's still a painter. He may not
and
make
he
15
has
20.
no motivation to grow, bye.
No. Let's say it's not no motivation because everybody's motivation. But let's say he's just into his painting. Because painting is very specific. It's a hobby kind of thing where it's a niche. If he's going every day painting, going hard, practicing, out there selling, you see how you guys set up.
She is one of the women out there. If you're not a strong male, I don't know how, and she's a beautiful woman. I don't know how anyone dealt with her, to be honest. And
damn.
It's a compliment.
No, it's a compliment,
I know,
right? So that tells you how much more secure I had to be in myself.
Right.
I wasn't always at that level to get to this point. Right?
Right.
You start to grow as a man and become more and more either weaker or stronger. Right. As my income and other things are going up, getting women was never an issue, but more income and things of that nature has carried more strength. Right.
Yes.
But here's the thing. When she says controlling, I kind of agree with her. You have to be. A lot of women don't like it when men say that. You got to be a little bit controlling.
You got to be, yeah.
Because a woman like that, if you let her off the reins, what do you think's gonna happen?
If you give her no boundaries,
idiot.
Right.
Like
you lose her.
You're basically saying that she can do whatever she wants. She ain't gonna respect you for very long.
Yes.
How long is she gonna? If you don't tell her, listen, I can peace out too. Then what? And mean it. What do you think's gonna happen?
But he asked if the man made $15K. If I first met you,
I said at first
first I would because I'm not gonna judge you on your pockets, right? Because to me it's not at
wouldn't
first.
Last,
but if we're not gonna grow together, maybe we're not gonna. There's no motivation to do something better because I'm always looking to grow.
Right.
And growth is income as well.
But you don't know that at first.
I'm not going to know.
Right.
But I'm going to give the person a chance.
I agree she would.
I'm going to give the person a chance.
3 years in, he's still a painter making 15 though. But you guys are setting up every day. You guys are doing it like hustling. Like you can hustle and not financially.
Right. So, what is going on that's stopping him from financially growing? We got to figure that out.
I guess.
Well, I'm just saying.
The painter struggles. Like people just aren't paying higher.
Then he needs to find something else to do.
Something else.
You heard
I
what she
don't know.
says.
Growth.
Nah, I agree.
Because women, it goes back to what we said.
We're growing together.
Women date up.
Yes. Hypergamous women, yes. By nature.
It's nature.
Right, why would I want to? Why
Again,
would
you just
I want
answered.
to?
She didn't even
So if I'm saying no,
No, you're nothing wrong. But
Because
this is how all women
you don't deserve me to be just sitting there and not grow. To me, I want to keep growing.
He wouldn't leave you if you weren't
No,
though.
but
So answer that. So
you wouldn't
go
leave
answer
if I just sat at home and didn't do
answer.
nothing.
Because I'm not gonna answer because he's
just
gonna
wanna
answer
know.
it well.
Gotcha. Let's ask Kelly first. Okay, do you think that he would leave you if you weren't upgrading every year or getting better financially every year, or resourceful every year? If you were on an uprise, do you think he'd leave you?
Derek, it's not about the money part. Is if I just sat there and I didn't support him and I didn't, it's not the money. If I just had no motivation to do anything, no, if I had no motivation to do anything because he doesn't like that. I know how Derek thinks.
Right.
So
That part's right.
if I'm just sitting there and there's just like,
If she's a lazy.
right,
then you gotta go.
I gotta go.
Right.
Regardless if there's money or not, I gotta
money,
go.
no.
But if you're hustling and you're not making strides,
No, I don't
there's a
care.
difference. Do you think he'll leave you for hustling and not making financial strides?
No, he wouldn't go
No, because it's heavy.
Right.
because he sees I'm just trying and I'm
But
hustling.
vice versa, if he's trying as a struggling $15,000 a year painter for 5 years straight,
No.
I've been there.
Right. But you wouldn't tolerate after 5 years from him.
She did.
From you?
No,
For
not
5
from
years?
him.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that I tolerated that.
For 5 years.
Yes.
But
8.
then yeah.
Yeah, you upgraded.
But it ended, but it had nothing to do with that piece.
But it was always gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay, if you feel that way, then
I
maybe
do.
it was.
Because women are purpose. It's just like
It's
if
not
you go back
your fault.
to
They're
if
not.
you go back to
No,
building
I'm
houses.
not feeling guilty about nothing. It is what it is. I'm just saying that
'Cause you always
I
say-
always give somebody a chance.
She
I'm not
always
looking,
says over and over that person.
I'm not looking for someone's
He didn't do anything.
paycheck.
She always says.
Which that
Right.
tells you that
Right.
you
He
got
didn't do
you better
nothing.
do something, because if you don't end up like the last
Something
guy,
that's
He was
gotta
still
be-
working though.
right? But not
But there's other things.
I mean,
that
there are
were-
other things.
No.
So we're not.
Yeah,
okay.
just-
Okay.
we won't-
Okay. All right, I want to pull up these text messages from Jonah Hill, and I want
Yeah.
you guys to give me your input. Tell me where it gets too much. Tell me where it gets
All right.
abusive.
Yeah.
Let's pull this up for a second. Oh man, mine is dumb slow. Okay, let's read this one. All right, checking Instagram. Is this picture inappropriate for Kelly?
Where are we at?
No, she's posted on
At
social
the
media.
beach?
She's just posted on social media.
Yeah,
Inappropriate?
no. Yeah.
What is that?
I'm gonna show you guys. Y'all see.
She has a bathing suit and by herself.
Yeah. Is the picture
It's
inappropriate?
just a weird.
It's
a
not
weird,
necessary.
It's not. I don't know. It's a weird picture to me.
Is
I
it-
wouldn't post that.
You wouldn't post it.
Mm-mm.
Now, if your daughter posted this and her big father was like, "Yo, I'm leaving because this is inappropriate," could you understand where he was coming from?
But to completely leave
He's like,
from one post,
boundaries.
that's his thing then.
And-
Fine.
Okay.
Because if he did, but let's back up a little bit.
Mhm.
Was that ever told that he doesn't want her posting pictures like that? Was that ever communicated his boundaries?
See,
Because some people don't
That's
communicate
right
their
now.
boundaries, and then when something happens, right, they're mad, and you didn't even know that made them mad.
so a boundary, he would need to have to protect you for you to be with him, right? He needs to be able to protect you in case something were to happen
Right.
for you to feel safe with him, right? You would feel weird if you had to say like, oh, I had to tell him to be masculine, or I had to tell him to defend me.
Right.
You'd look at that as a problem.
No, what I'm saying is that if he had a problem with that picture, and that's the first time she's ever posted a picture like that,
Right.
this is the problem with lack of communication. Because if she felt that she did nothing wrong, because she never felt that, she just said, hey, I'm just posting a picture of me in my bathing suit, right?
Right.
If he communicated to her and said, listen, I didn't like that. Like, to me, that's disrespectful. Take it down. She takes it down. Or she tells him, F off, right? Or she says, and then she posts another picture. Then he should leave.
Smoke.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. But maybe if they had, because we're quick to bounce, right?
Yes.
That's the problem. If we
Yes.
can have that, just say, listen, I didn't like that. Like, sometimes you can't read each other's mind. Like, me and Derek do this all the time, and he'll be upset, or I'll get upset. He don't even know why the hell I'm upset, right? Because I didn't tell him what I felt what he did was wrong until we sit down and we talk. And he's like, oh, I didn't mean that like that. Maybe I took something the wrong way. So if I post that picture because I just thought, hey, it's cute, we went on vacation and I just wanted to post a picture, and he says, I'm leaving you because of your picture, I'm going to look at him like, what's wrong? Why didn't you just tell me to take it down? I'll take it down if it's bothering you, and just communicate with me.
Okay. You want to say something, Derek?
Yeah, no, I think she hit the nail
Yeah.
on the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me what you guys plan on doing politically in the political space. Like, what's your next move, or what kind of things are you trying to push for?
Well, Me personally, I want to try to one day run for mayor of the city of Bristol. And then from there maybe go to become a Senate. Yes.
Okay. What type of issues that are going on in the community that you feel like you'd be like a big push for, or like something that you'd be the big change for?
So the main thing, I'm not gonna lay out the plan just in case
somebody's watching that one.
Right.
I'm
Because there's 2 other people that are
okay.
running in town. I don't want to. I put out some content already, wrote up some things, and I already kind of started using
conversation.
Yeah, 2 of the people running against each other. So I gotta be careful with that piece.
Okay.
We'll talk offline.
Okay.
As far as that goes. But issues are, we're so divided. We're divided in the city. It's too much Democrat or Republican. As people in general, we need to come more towards the middle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is everything that we do can't be so far right, so far left.
Right.
We can't totally get rid of guns, yet we still have to be more cautious, right?
Right. Who we give it to.
Right, who we give it to. We can't totally get rid of abortion altogether, right? Because there are certain situations where a woman might have to, right? She gets raped, certain things like that, right? So, again, we have to be more a collective unit, right? In order to work, and family has to be more of a collective unit. As Black people, we've been separated, I believe, because of the Democrats, the welfare system. That's why I lean a little more towards the Republican side, especially being a businessman now, right? And it's more family unit. Democrats say they're for the family, but yet they got more. They're going for more single.
They're doing everything to break the family
Again,
apart.
And we don't realize that,
right?
And we're the poorest
Yes.
out of the poor, right? And the reason we are is because we don't have a family unit.
I agree. I totally agree. So the 2 incomes are always going to be better than 1. So it definitely is if it's 1 and then a step 1. You know what I mean?
That's why I talk about being a man. You have to respect your woman too. You can't go around just being macho man either. Right? Yeah. If she disrespects you, and she gets online, let her know. And if she doesn't respect that, then leave.
I totally agree. Kelly, do you have any anything in the political space that you want to express that you feel needs change?
I just feel that I never would think I would even thought about politics years ago. You know what I mean? But as being a parent, and then when you're in a community, see, it's different here for me because I'm from New York. It's just way bigger. So like this is like more of a small town to me, and you really can see what's going on. And if you can't complain about something, you're not going to try to do something about it. So to me, it's wherever I can feel that I fit to help make those changes. I'm all about advocating for anybody who doesn't feel like they are not being heard. Where there's the homeless people, we have done events.
Yeah, we do.
To advocate for them. Whether when I was in New York, I used to be a lactation consultant as well. So advocating for breastfeeding rights, things like that. I think it's just important that we see. And I'm Black and Puerto Rican. So, being a female in this time where we have this so much independence, come on, women, wake up, man. You don't want to die alone, okay? You don't want to be alone. Let's be real. Whether it's a man or a woman, you need a partner in life. Life is too short to be alone and struggling. Like, the struggle is real. Why would I want to struggle by myself? I want somebody else that when I'm having a bad day can make me feel better. Not a bottle of liquor or the club just gonna go turn up for the night. That's a temporary fix. So I think it's just changing people's thought process. If I could get into our youth in our community, especially our young female, social media. We know our kids are looking at social media, looking up to people on social media. Social media is a liar. Like our expectations that we see there, we set for ourselves, and it's not true. I always tell people, when they looked at my social media back then, I was a red carpet hostess with a gown, a mic, interviewing celebrities. You look at, oh my God, you're beautiful, you must have been happy. I was depressed and drunk. You wouldn't know it though, because I was able to cover all that up. And so it's a facade. I wasn't posting the times when I was sad. You know what I mean? Or no one sees that part. And I think that we need to bring that out. And our kids need to understand that. Look up to the people in your community, those people that are really truly making change in the community. And I am one of those people that are making the changes in our community for our people.
Yeah, we are.
Nice. Yeah. I'm sorry, Kelly, can you please tell the women who are watching, is it my man, or is it Instagram?
What do you mean?
Every time too long. My man, or Instagram? Which one are you choosing?
My man.
Right. A lot of girls are picking Instagram and social media, and I don't know why.
Why? To look at something that you can't have or you want to have, or that's fake, that's a filter, that's airbrush, that's, come on, it's not real.
It's not fulfilling.
So this is a true story. Kelly had quite a few people on her social media. I said, right near Facebook.
Right, when I moved here,
I didn't like it.
I had 2 Facebook pages and they were all 5,000
Guess
people
what
because
happened?
I deleted it. I deleted the whole page.
See?
I changed every
That's
social
it gotta
media.
be, as a
Yeah,
man.
every social media account I had. I
They're the
did,
alpha man.
So what I'm saying is what she said.
because I knew that
It's
people
true.
were gonna
She's
hit
being
me
truthful.
up.
Yeah.
They were gonna
Trying to
say
ruin what you got
stuff.
going, yeah.
You know,
But
my
she's
pictures
being
were all
truthful.
my modeling pictures. They're gonna hit. So why am I gonna set myself up for that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right, delete.
She
I
had a
took
couple
some
male
pictures.
friends, and I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I think you did the smart thing by getting
Not
rid of
worth
them.
it.
Especially like what you giving up good morning, hella 600 good morning texts
Yeah.
for an actual man
For
laying
what?
next to you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I agree. I totally agree.
For what? Yeah.
What's the plans for DKA movement moving forward? What you guys plan on doing? What type of things do you speak into fruition? So when we all look back on this podcast, we can be like, yo, we said it here first.
Well, I don't know if we mentioned that we have also the nonprofit. So, yeah, DK Movement
So we
is
have
a
2
clothing
businesses,
brand,
yeah.
and then it's DK Movement Cares is a nonprofit that we started in February. And the reason why we started a nonprofit, because no matter what, everything we did was community work anyway. So, the future holds for us is giving back as much as we can in our community, hosting fundraising events where we can pick, local other organizations that are maybe small, that don't get donations from other people, that don't get those big sponsors, and help raise awareness and funds for them as well. So that's one piece, and to grow our nonprofit. But we don't want to grow it to the point where we don't have control.
Yeah.
It's about us being able to touch as many people as we can, and not just be behind a board and not being able to go out there. Yeah.
But also the other goal is to hire people too. We want to hire minorities. Right.
Perfect.
So we want to put minorities in a position that show up on time.
That's a fact.
No,
That's a
seriously,
fact.
right? You gotta.
Right.
I'm dead serious.
You gotta show up on time.
You know what I mean? I work at a large bank as a manager for the past 10 years. I've been in management for quite some time now, and I'm telling you guys, if you don't show up, man or women, and you gotta respect your boss, especially if your boss respects you. You gotta respect, the chain of command.
Yeah.
Stop acting like dummies. Right? Seriously. But with us, we want to grow our business, right? We want to continue to expand within our community and then outside our community. So build the infrastructure that's going to actually connect with multiple other infrastructures to work together. So as you talk about political things, that's how it would change.
Nice.
Right? So build the infrastructure where all of us, all nonprofits work together.
Yep.
And then on top of that, then we can hire people, boots on the ground, and have them start working through infrastructure together. So because you need people on the ground too, not just up here, right?
I totally agree.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking for. What we have going on now is a race, the 5K race. That's in August 26th.
August 26th, y'all. By the way, I'm gonna be there. I know I've put on the pounds. I know you haven't seen the belly grow, but I'm gonna pop up. If any artists, any poets, singers want to join me, we're gonna be vlogging. We're gonna be lit. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of bottle of water because that's what we do. We stay hydrated. We're gonna vlog the situation. We're gonna run and support my man Derek and Kelly. Any final words?
But also, wait, the race is to support the Bristol Special Olympics and the Agape House Homeless Outreach. So that's what the funds are being raised for.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Right, yeah. It's basically to give back to the community just because the way I was raised, right? Didn't have much when I grew up, moved 27 times, was in the shelter, lived in hotels, right? So you have to start showing other youth and other people, adults, too, that you can do better in life. And just because where I'm at now, I'm not going to stop growing either. You got to keep pushing yourself further and further.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yo. I'm telling you, this is the greatest podcast on the planet of Earth. I got Derek. I got Kelly. Yo, y'all have been perfect. Y'all have been great guests. You guys, I love the standpoint y'all have. I love where you guys came from. I love what you guys are doing. Like I said, you guys want to come run with me. I'm going to be running in Bristol, so let's go support. We look forward to have you guys back on the podcast and do like a milestone catch
Well,
up.
we're gonna have you on our show.
Oh yeah! We turned up, y'all. We gonna be turned up. We gonna
we
be
have
on
our YouTube channel, Profit from Pain.
Profit
Power
from
Couples
Pain.
Power
Journey.
couple, because they call us the power couple.
Power Couple. Profit from Pain. The Power Couple. Make sure y'all type that into YouTube so the YouTube algorithm can get comfortable and they can pop up the first one in the search bar. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all coming.
Appreciate you too.
I'm gonna put all your descriptions inside, all your information in the description, and make sure everybody can find you and catch up what you guys are doing. Okay?
Appreciate you, man.
I
I appreciate y'all. Big blessings, most success, most blessings. I appreciate
Same with you,
y'all.
man. Same with you.
I appreciate y'all. Peace.